Okay. Hey everyone, we are here for another match of the pre-modern spring flings. We're in the semifinals. We have Aaron playing Sligh and Jeff playing The Rock. I'm Michael Hoyp. I'm here with Lester. Say hi, Lester. We're going to be doing commentary on the match. They are playing a best 2 out of 3. They both decided that that's what they preferred. So, could be some quick games. So, we have a little bit of time to talk about the decks before we get started. Lester, is there a deck that you want to talk about? Okay, I'm going to pull up the Rock deck. Okay, so yeah, yep. I usually see. I mean, a lot of us will play one of those, but this one's has a little bit more focus on the recurring nightmare and deranged tournament combo. But the biggest change of this deck is that there aren't any Birds of Paradise or Lanor Elves. Do you like that change? Okay. Yeah, I mean the matchups that Jeff has played so far, he played against goblins and they were really good in that matchup, and they're definitely fine against the Sligh deck. That it's just a little speed bump that really can make a difference, and not having those one drops, I think benefits given that he has other cards in. Oh, I think. Oh, hold on. I think maybe I had you mute out of the stream. All right. Um, can everyone hear Lester? He was talking before. I don't know if. Okay. All right. I think I did fix it now. Um, I had Lester on mute. I had my desktop audio from the echo. So
Fair enough.
sorry about that. So now you should be good. But yeah, instead of the one drops, it's pretty much replaced by cheap removal spells and walls, extra walls. Like the list I've seen had been only Wall of Roots or Wall of Blossoms, and this one has both. So that's another thing that helps the Rock deck against the Sligh. So let's
Yeah.
quick flip over to the Sligh. Is there anything that stands out on this deck list to you?
Pretty basic red deck. He doesn't really have a lot of staying power. He's got quite a few burn spells, but not a lot of staying power.
Yeah.
So I think he can win this one.
Okay.
He can win game one for sure.
All right. They started playing, so I'll switch over here. So Jeff leads off with a Festering Goblin, and that's I mean
So
that stops a Jackal Pup or a Mog Fanatic. So it's just going to pad his life total, which is really all he needs, and
right.
he's able to get aggressive with it and start attacking with it.
Shock.
Oh, I guess maybe
Oh,
is he bolting the
it's going to
Festering
the
Goblin, or is
face.
he going to the face? I mean,
Face.
there could be like a certain hand if your hand was a bunch of creatures that you would want to bolt the Festering Goblin.
Yeah, for sure. I think you definitely want to get rid of it if you got Live Mans or a pup.
Yeah,
Kind of. Maybe you just got a really burn heavy hand here.
yeah. I mean, like if your deck's just or if your hand's just all like ball lightnings and burns, then you don't really have to worry about the Festering Goblin.
Right.
So that little goblin's getting in there again, and Jeff has a treetop village, so that's something that could either help blocking or might allow him to apply a little bit of pressure if he needs to close out the game. Because that's really what it's going to come down to is how quick can Jeff close out the game. Because if I mean he doesn't have, I mean I guess he has the Ravenous Balos, but beyond
Well,
that,
he's got Bailoff recur,
sure,
so that's not bad.
okay. So yeah, if he can get that engine going, then that's really good. But if he doesn't have the Ravenous Baloth, then he's kind of on a short leash in terms of how long he can live without Aaron just burning him out. But yeah, with all the remove or the burn spells that being pointed at Jeff, you have to think that yeah, his hand is probably just
Chock full.
yeah.
Yeah, no, the Bailoff makes this burnout plan
Yeah,
a
a lot
little
worse.
bit
And
worse.
and it's a clock too.
Yeah.
It does both things. So
Yep.
I think so. This bolt is going to the. It looked like it was going to Jeff.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you like just firing off a bolt, or do you think you need to wait to try and take out the Bailoff?
Um, it really depends on his draw. Like killing the Bailoff just gives him so much life.
Sure,
You don't really want to point burn spells at it.
but it also could reduce the clock enough that gives you time to draw that extra burn.
Yeah, but I kind of want him to get excited and start attacking at the treetop and tapping out so that your
Okay,
ball lightning can get through.
sure.
You're really just living in fear of Vendetta here against ball lightning. It's so good.
Well, does ball lightning kill or make you lose life to toughness or power?
Vendetta makes you lose life to toughness.
Oh, okay. I was to say you don't have that much to
Yeah,
worry about if it's power. So, all
yeah,
right, he's dealt 3-3-3-3. So right now
yep.
Jeff's at 8. So I mean, there's also could be a spot where, like, if Jeff goes like to a point where he's below 4 or below, and then activates the Baloth, that he could respond with a Fire Blast. I mean, that could be
Right.
Aaron's plan.
He could have drawn the Price of Progress too, which now does the 4
Yeah, he only
price
has
from Fire
one, I
Blast.
think, in his main deck, and I
Yep.
think one in the board. I think that the deck pick that we have is wrong. I think it shows two, but
Oh,
he only has one on the board.
oh, fair enough. He's gonna get him with the Weissman errors here.
Okay, so this would be an attack for 8.
Yep.
Okay, so that would put Aaron to
He,
9. Oh wait, is he?
he might not attack with the Bailoff. Oh
That,
yeah, there you go.
I was to say, like, I mean, in theory you could block a ball lightning, but that seems very conservative.
Yeah. So we got 9 to 8 here, right?
Yes. Yeah, I've
Does he
been
have a
keeping
wall?
track,
Nope.
but like, yeah, Jeff's phone's a little off screen, so I'll try and keep on it so I don't lose track. Yeah, so I mean, from the spot, it's tough. I guess Jeff is still looking at a 2 turn clock.
Yep.
He doesn't have 9 on the board, so Aaron can expect to get this turn and then 2 additional turns, but he still has to deal with Jeff gaining 4 life. So
The red draw with no 1 drop is really just a rough draw.
yeah, the thing is, I mean, knowing that you're playing with the Rock and you know the lists, the Jackal Pup can be a little less effective when he has so many walls. So it's not like, I mean, I like to mulligan for Pup in a lot of matches, but this is not one where I would do it. So he's using a lightning
Oh,
bolt on the treetop village, but that doesn't change the
oh,
clock. It's still a 2 turn clock. So
yeah. I don't know why you would do that.
I mean, so he took 5, so he's at 4. So there's a Grim Lava Mancer. I mean, yeah, he can block the,
Yeah, you can chump there.
yeah. So maybe he's playing it. I mean, I don't know how many. It looks like he has a bunch of cards in his hand, so it could be a bunch of ball lightnings or fire blasts, or because it shouldn't be that many 1 mana spells, because he probably would have fired those off. And Jeff's coming in for 5, and he played a factory, so Baloth gets blocked. He's gonna go down to 3, and now we have lethal even if he has a blocker for the Baloth. So Aaron's in a pretty tough spot.
Yeah, even Mountain Ball Lightning here.
Yeah, I mean, ball lightning would put Jeff to 2 if he doesn't even block with the factory.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, he's been dealing 6+4 because Jeff has the Baloth. Isn't
yep,
gonna be it
yeah.
good
It's
enough.
the Mishra's makes it lethal here.
Yep. I mean, the best thing he can have here is like 2 Mog Fanatics. Okay, so there's a ball
There's the
lightning.
ball.
Yeah, I think you just take it, go down to two. I mean, the only card you're worried about is Fire Blast, and there's only one that can be deployed. So he's just
Yeah.
hoping he doesn't realize what Bailoff that it has extra text. He's gonna Fire Blast. Jeff's gonna gain four, then take four, and then he's dead.
I can see why he kept the draw. He had a lot
Oh,
of burns.
yeah, I think his draw was fine.
I think he probably had two ball lightnings in the hand, I bet. Oh, we're going to find out. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the vortex, too. Yeah.
And yeah, he's seated enough, so the first game goes to Jeff. And let's start looking at the sideboards to see if anything drastically changes.
So the Rock brings in that fourth Vendetta, of course. What do you think about the Edicts? Do you bring in Edicts against this deck?
I would not. I think you have enough removal. Let's look at the rock list.
I think you want to take out therapies.
Yeah.
So 2 therapies for 2 duress, maybe.
Do you like duress?
I think I like duress. This is a really burn heavy draw or deck.
Yeah. So
every duress is probably saving you 2 to 3 damage.
Maybe Edict could be okay. I'm trying to think. The only thing is it doesn't go as well with the plan of like if you play walls and he has a Jackal Pup that's just sitting there, Diabolic Edict's not very good. Like if then he plays like a Ball Lightning and you're like Diabolic Edict and he's like, well, I'll happily sacrifice his Jackal Pup that isn't getting through.
Right, but I mean, our history, me and you playing against, we know the Jackal Pup is going to go to work against those walls.
Yeah, typically what happens is the wall blocks and then you use a burn spell to finish it off. So
yep. So the pup's not gonna just sit back.
Okay.
You're still gonna get aggro with it.
Yeah.
I think the red deck. I don't think you want the shocks in the red deck anymore. I definitely want to cut those out.
So let's.
You got Final Fortune.
You like that?
I think that's a.
You bring that in.
Yeah, I think you bring Final Fortune. I'm not real hot on Flame Rift. I'd rather have the Price of Progress. I think.
What do you think about Winter Orb?
I don't like Winter Orb at all.
Why?
This deck has to win with Curse Scroll late game for the most part. Your burn spells are fine, but like if you're gonna get to the part where Winter Orb really works, I think you really want your Curse Scrolls active.
Okay. Yeah, it just seems like it, without Jeff having any like, I guess he still has the Wall of Roots. I was gonna say if he doesn't have any of the Mana Elves, it seems like his curve is like a little higher than that, or more mana hungry, I guess, than the average deck, or the average rock deck. So I was thinking that maybe that's a plan. So I would bring in. There's one Price of Progress and one Sulfuric Vortex in the sideboard. Would you bring in both of those?
Oh, I bring in the Vortex for sure. I wouldn't bring in the Price. How many prices does he have then?
He can go up to 2. He has one in the main and one on the board. Well,
I think I'd leave the main deck one. I don't like those shocks. That's a card that I'd want to cut.
Jeff has 4 Llanowar Waste, 3 Mishra's Factory, 4 Treetop Village, and 2 City Brass, I think. So that's 7,
13?
11, 13. Yeah. I mean, that's a good
If you
amount.
just catch 2 of them, then it's 4 damage. So
Yeah.
that's better than Flame Rift, or the same as Flame Rift at that point.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what sideboards we see. So you don't like the shocks. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
I like the shocks.
They don't
really do very much.
Yeah, if you're playing against a deck with birds or Llanowar Elves, then it's more justifiable. I mean, I guess the only thing it really does is finishes off like a Wall of Blossoms after you attack with a Jackal Pup, but that's pretty narrow. So
I don't really like the Fanatics either, but you don't really have anything else to do with them.
Yeah, so let's flip back to the game. Looks like they're drawing their hand. So Aaron gets to be on the play when he was on the draw for the first game, so that could make a big difference. Obviously, being ahead for the red deck makes a... Like, do you think he's advantaged if he's just on the play looking at the decks?
I think he's advantage if he goes turn one pup.
Okay.
That's that's a lot rougher.
Yeah, well, it's not going to do anything for so long, and also it kind of just opens you up to get deeded. I mean, like,
Yep.
I guess it could get duressed or cobalt therapied in theory too. Um,
Yeah. So he left shocks and take the flame rift here.
yeah, someone was commenting, let's take a moment to appreciate both of these playmats, and yeah,
Yes.
both of them are very on theme. So that's
Yep.
something I didn't notice. Okay, yeah, so Fire Blast, Shock, Flame Rift, and Shock are his options. What do you think you'd? I mean, I kind of
I think you just take the flame rift here.
the Flame Rift. I was thinking of just
Yep.
maybe taking the Fire Blast, but
He can't even cast it.
I mean, yeah, but you don't think he's going to draw a second mountain in this game?
If you're the rock deck, you're hoping he never draws a second mountain, right?
Sure.
You're just willing it to happen.
Jeff agrees with you. So, I mean, also, like, maybe if you have a Cabal therapy, you might be able to get, like, a second Fire Blast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Because you know there's only one Flame Rift. He drew a Volcanic Hammer. Oh, I'm forgetting about life totals. So,
So we're kind of just hoping he didn't keep therapy in now.
yeah.
How do you like that play instead of just going shock, shock, untap, hammer?
I guess. I mean, I don't know if I would lead with Curse Scroll, but yeah, but I don't know if I would want to be willing to commit just shocking right away. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I probably would just lead with Curse Scroll. So Jeff took a damage from his Llanowar Waste to cast a Wall of Roots. So I don't know how many times he's going to have to activate that pain land. Oh, doesn't looks like he drew a forest. So Aaron picked up his hand. So we know about Fire Blast, 2 shocks. Is that it? I think so.
Yeah. So you got him down to 15 now.
Oh,
Blast.
he's taking a blast.
Oh, he didn't take a damage.
because he
no.
he had a forest and then he added a counter.
Yeah.
So here's the clock. So here's the 2 shocks.
Yep. So now he's got Curse Scroll online at least.
So
Does he have 2 cards or 1? I think he got 2 cards actually.
I think he only has 1 because he drew the Volcanic Hammer and played it that turn. And then the next turn he drew a card that we didn't know.
2, yeah.
And that turn he just drew a mountain or a Bloodstained Mire. So I think he has 1 unknown and 1 Fire Blast.
What are these non-pre-modern legal mountains in here?
I mean, I like the art, but yeah, I don't know.
Blasphemy.
Just let people do what they want. I don't know.
What are we doing here?
I mean, I guess his option is. I mean, I guess do you just go for like a coin flip to try and deal 2 damage with Curse Scroll?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I mean, you have to take a damage every time you do that, so.
Oh.
There's a duress.
Oh, we're gonna find out what's got. This might even be better for him actually.
Yeah, that just turn on the Curse
Now
Scroll.
it's 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't Fire Blast here, right?
No,
Well,
I don't think you can Fire Blast here.
I mean, you could activate. No, because I was gonna say you can deal him 6 right here because you would have Threshold with the Barbarian Ring.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was casting it, but he's just saying you have to take this.
Right.
So, if he was tapped out last turn, I think I would have played the Ball Lightning.
And just hope that he block with Blast with him.
If he does, like, I mean, do you think he's gonna block with the wall?
No.
So, I mean, like, I think if he blocks with the Blaster, you're okay with that, and if he takes 6, you're really happy about that.
Yeah, this is over.
Yeah, the Ravenous Bale. I mean, he needs to draw a Sulfuric Vortex. It would be like the only card really that's gonna get him back in this, I think, because there is a clock and he can gain 8 life. There's a hammer. Oh, I missed 2 damage from the curse scroll. And then I think Aaron should be at 1 less because of the barbarian ring if he used curse scroll. So I think he's actually at 12, but they have 13, so I guess I'm just gonna keep it there.
Oh, yeah, threshold, right?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's just taking 9?
Yep.
Right.
No, I guess therapied. Oh no, I just gained. Okay.
Oh, he's just
Sacking it for the life.
It still had a turn to attack though, right? It only attacked twice, right?
Yeah.
Wonder why he needs to do
maybe
that. Maybe he's got. Oh, he could have recurring nightmare.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
Yep.
Okay. Adding insult to injury. The red mages are crying. Their red tears running down their face.
Face up.
If a red mage cries, does that like make him a blue-red player? Yeah.
So this is where best out of 3 was a real disadvantage to the red deck. I thought red should go best out of 5.
They agreed they wanted to play best of 3, so
yeah, that's fair enough.
So yeah.
So what do we think? One of those games, the red deck had a turn 1 play other than curse scroll.
So like even that second game, if it had like a jackal pup instead of a curse scroll,
it's totally different, right?
It would have dealt. Well, it would have got in for 2 because Jeff didn't do anything. He duressed on turn 1, right?
Yep.
Then he played a wall though, so I mean the game's you definitely get in 2 damage.
Then if he blocks at the wall, then you can hammer the wall there. Then
sure, and then the blast storm comes down to turn later.
Yep. That's the difference between those 1 drops.
Yeah.
How did Aaron sideboard? Do we see it?
There
we go.
I guess they're talking about it. There's a Final Fortune, Price Progress, Flame Rift. So what was he taking out? Probably a creature, right? Brought in a Sulfuric Vortex. That makes sense.
Maybe he took out Fanatics?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
James, they were just playing a best of 3, so that was the match. So...
Oh.
Did he take out the pups?
He took out the pups, yeah.
I mean, I guess he's just afraid of like a Blastoderm or a Ravenous Baloth coming down and it not doing anything, but I don't know. I like Jackal Pup a lot more than I think most people. I'm usually not afraid. I mean, like if it deals 4 damage, I'm ecstatic, and if it just deals 2 and forces them to use a card, then I think it's done its job. So, I mean, obviously It's not great when you draw it later in the game and you're being pressured because it's not a very good blocker. But yeah.
No, but it's fine after a deed. You know, if you get your opponent to deed the board and you top deck Jackal Pup, it's still fine.
Sure.
I don't know if I've ever sided out Jackal Pups, to be honest with you. I leave him in the red matchup even.
Yeah, I mean, I like them in most red decks. I know when I played like the Beast Rock, I had if I was playing Beast Rock and I had contested cliffs, would you still keep in Jackal Pup?
Yeah, I would, because I'm just gonna lose the game anyways at that point.
All right, I really
might as well try to get in 4 to 6 damage
to activate contested cliffs on a spirit with a Spirit Monger and attack for deal 6, attack for 7.
For 6.
Oh, 7. It dealt damage. It gets a counter.
Spirit Monger does? Really?
Yeah, whenever it deals damage to a creature, it gets a counter. I
Oh,
guess that
jeez.
ability just never happens, does it?
Yeah, I had no idea I said that.
It can change colors too.
Oh, I knew that.
All right.
And regenerates.
Yeah, I think that one's a little more relevant, but
Yeah. Yeah, so taking out the jack-up ups makes sense why we didn't see a one drop. I just don't think he has enough lands to go into the full burn mode without jack-up ups. I think he's got what 18 total lands.
sure. I guess if like Jeff his like average draw, if he's playing, I mean, I guess if you don't expect him to play like a turn three Ravenous Baloth or Blastoderm, is that you might have enough time then. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard because if he ever sees a Ravenous Baloth, that like tempo plan of just burning him out really is set back.
Yep. Yeah, so that was a rough matchup for the red deck
Yeah.
right there.
So that means that Jeff is in the finals and he is playing Flint, who is playing four color lands. Do you have any opinion on what will happen in that match?
I like the lands deck there. I think the lands deck is probably pretty favored.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that The Rock has is Deed is pretty good against what the lands deck is trying to set up, but it's definitely going to give the lands deck some amount of time. I mean, they also have discard spells that you can take away part of the engine, so I definitely can see the Rock deck giving the lands deck a run for its money. So
That'd be an interesting one.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Rock is definitely not built to beat something like lands, of
Mm-hmm.
course. But the nice thing about the Rock is it goes in so many different directions that it's just good against everything.
Yeah, game one, I guess it has the Festering Goblins are pretty bad, and the Vendettas are just blanks. Um, so yeah,
And we saw the Festering Goblin get in what 3 or 4 damage that first game, so not blanks.
well,
Goblins can always
sure,
swing.
yeah, it's still. I guess it's the one creature. Yeah, that's
Yep, always swings.
yeah. All right. Um, is there anything else you want to add? Chat.
No, I the,
Chat. Do you have any
no, but
questions? Yep. Yeah, you can.
I think this was pretty typical of what was going to happen in this matchup for the most part. This Rock deck was really good against this red deck. I thought the red deck would steal one win, but
Yeah, I thought.
it
I guess
happened.
the Jeff was able to kill Aaron a lot quicker than I thought.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I mean, we saw him prioritize like attacking with a treetop village pretty early. So I don't know if that was part of the role he thought he had to play is like be aggressive when you can, or maybe his draws just didn't have any other options. But yeah, I felt like usually that's one thing of the weakness of the Rock is sometimes you just don't apply pressure and you can give the red deck more time to draw those burn spells. But there really was no opportunity for Aaron to get any breathing room. We saw him when he was stuck on two lands that really disrupted his draw.
Yeah, I do wonder how many ball lightnings he had in that opening draw to keep that two lander. I'm gonna guess he might maybe had like 2 ball lightnings in that opening draw because we
Yeah,
saw two right in that first game.
yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean he had them both right away, but um,
Do you keep a draw of just 2 lands, a few burn spells without ball lightnings?
without ball inning,
Yeah,
no. Well, if you're on the draw, maybe maybe that's
with
a
no turn one drop, no ball lightning. I don't know if you keep just a bunch of burn spells.
yeah, yeah,
It's different though. We did see that maybe he just didn't. Maybe he just doesn't value creatures as much
yeah,
because he sided out those jack up ups. So
for sure.
maybe his experience with red's just a little bit different.
Yeah, yeah. Jeff, I have you muted right now. I can. I have you unmuted now, Jeff.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey.
Yeah, I was just listening to a little bit of your summary commentary. I know in the opening draw that Aaron had, he had the Sulphurous Vortex, which he really liked, and 2 lands. I think he had 1 ball lightning, but I'm not positive on that.
I guess yeah, that's a real big draw if you have the one vortex in your deck. To like if
Yeah.
he's just able to slam that and you don't have a deed, then that kind of allows him. I mean, I guess you could still just be ahead if you play like a Blastoderm and just have a clock on him, but still that
Yeah.
might be because he's obviously worried about Ravenous Baloth, so that's a big draw to keep that hand.
So that was a strange game because obviously, as you guys saw, he got stuck on 2 lands for basically the entire game until it was too late. And I heard you guys asking about attacking with the Treetop Village. So my opener, which I decided to keep, was Festering Goblin and Ravenous Beloth and 5 lands.
Okay.
And the only non-land card I drew was the last turn when I drew that Cabal Therapy.
Okay.
So the only line I had was like, I just got to keep swinging and hope he doesn't draw that 3rd land.
Okay.
Even if he draws a 3rd land, though, swinging with the treetops it's just the best play.
It's fine, right? Because I don't really want to block Ball Lightning with it. It doesn't do that much for me, and I have to swing. I can't block Ball Lightning with Beloth either, so it's not that many other options.
What do you think about him siding out the Jack-o'-Pups? Were you surprised about that?
No, I think that's right, because the chances of me not having a wall on the board after 2 turns is super low. Plus the Jackal-Pup, if I get a Pernicious Deed on the board, which is likely, it's what my deck does, then it kills a Jackal-Pup, it kills a Curse Scroll. He has so many 1-drops that he's got to kind of diversify, I think, what he does. So I think it's probably right to bring out Jackal-Pup, even on the play. I don't know. You guys have a different opinion on that?
Yeah, I think we are pro Jackal-Pup. I mean, because it's like, if you have a wall and you attack with a Jackal-Pup, I'm happy to use a burn spell on. Well, certainly on Wall of Roots. I'm not as happy with a Wall of Blossoms, but then it's kind of like, okay, I used a burn spell, but now you need to answer this Jackal-Pup. So, I mean,
that's true.
The chances of catching a Jackal-Pup and a Curse Scroll with a deed are pretty low because most red players don't want to put both on the table. So you're gonna have one. I think the Jackal-Pup just sets the tone for the red deck and puts you on the back foot. Where if you take them out, then the burn spells are less good because you can gain 4 all the time. So that's how I feel about Jackal-Pup.
I suppose that's true, but like given he has to side in, so Price of Progress I think is a good add.
Mm-hmm.
He brought in Final Fortune, which I think is probably fine. I think he brought in one more Sulfuric Vortex.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yep.
And I forget what his 4th card was, but then I guess what do you take out instead of the Pups?
We thought the Shocks.
The Shocks.
Oh, the Shocks, yeah, because Pups were probably at least 2 damage, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, that's because we kind of said
taking out the Fanatics.
Yeah. Yeah, you could take out Fanatic. It is reasonable, but it kind of is. I don't know. It's like that recurring source of damage. If it gets, it's for sure going to deal 1, and if it deals 2, then it's basically a shock. And it's not. I don't know. I mean, I guess shock goes better in concert with the Jackal-Pup plan in terms of finishing off a wall, but yeah, I don't know. It's
right.
It's tough to say. So
I think he decided he just was going to give up the creature race and just go to the face as much as possible and hope to sneak through a bird, or not bird, a Ball Lightning.
Yeah.
But Ball Lightning versus wall in that plan is not great either. Because if there's no other creatures, you're just gonna chuck that wall in front of that Ball Lightning every time. Like, why not there? So
Jeff, there was one turn where Aaron had a Curse Scroll and he had just drawn his 3rd mana source, and you knew he had a Fire Blast in his hand, and it was your turn, and you had attacked, or I think you just played the Blastoderm. Yeah. And so you have a Wall of Roots with 4 counters, or with 1 counter, and you're tapped out. He had a Ball Lightning and he drew the 3rd red source. So if he plays Ball Lightning there, are you taking, what do you think your play was?
I already had the Beloth in my hand, and I believe I was at 12, so I was gonna eat it, and he wouldn't have had lethal, and because I know I'm gonna play the Beloth next turn, I'm gonna swing with the Blastoderm, and then so synthetically I'm at 4 and he's, or 6 rather, and he's Hellbent. So I was surprised that he didn't cast that Ball Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have let it through, and if I do, and he draws a couple, he doesn't know I have the Beloth, and if he draws a couple more burn spells in a row, I might be in a bit of trouble. I would have been in more trouble, I think, if he had just, I don't know, I don't think saying go there is right.
Yeah.
I think he gotta cast that Ball Lightning.
That was one turn where I thought he could have played it differently. I mean, you might even block in that spot with the Wall of Roots. I mean, I think even blocking with the Blastoderm is reasonable, especially if you have the Ravenous Baloth in your hand. But I think I would probably block with the Wall Roots because you had a fourth mana source, right?
Yeah, I did. I actually had either one or two more in my hand. So
Okay.
the Roots is essentially worthless at that point.
Yeah.
That would have been another reasonable play if he brought the
Ball Lightning.
Yeah, the Ball Lightning.
Okay.
And then once I duress there, I mean, then he's just in a super tough spot because he can't stack 2 mountains. He's done as that.
Yeah. So yeah, you did you put pressure on him pretty quick that he was not. We were thinking that the games might go long in terms of. I feel like whenever I played the Rock, a lot of times I just don't close out games that quick, and
Right.
the red deck's able to draw more cards. But Aaron did not get a lot of turns. You always had a threat pretty quick and was attacking him.
Yeah, that game too. I had a great draw when you can get down that third turn Blastoderm and you can if you can follow that Blastoderm then Ravenous Baloth fourth turn. That's really tough to work with.
Yeah.
If you're Sligh.
Agreed.
So you're up against the 4-color lands deck in the finals. You don't need to give away any of your tech, but what are your thoughts about the matchup, I guess?
So thought number one is I got to go back and watch one of Flint's semis or quarters because
Okay.
I don't know. I really don't know all his tricks yet. I was actually just chatting about that with Aaron that I don't know any of the nuances of his 5-color lands.
Okay.
Like I know what Exploration does. I know what Horn of Greed does. I know what Crop Rotation does. I know what the cards do, but I just have never seen them work together. And so I'll be really curious to watch one of his matches and formulate a game plan.
Okay. Yeah, well, the matches he played were pretty interesting, and we kind of talk about how some people, even if you know the deck list, it's not super intuitive what the deck is doing. So, yeah, getting some insight is probably will give you get you up to speed. So,
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that getting at his hand is going to play some part in the game. After that, I don't know. I don't know what.
okay. All right. Well, congratulations, and we'll figure out a time that both works for you and Flint, and hopefully we'll be seeing you soon. So, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Lester, for helping me out.
Anytime.
Sorry that the
Congrats on your win.
red deck
Thanks,
can do better. But...
well done, Aaron, on the semis. Awesome job, dude.
All right. So thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't, you can follow me for the Twitch stream. It'll let you know when I go live. I should be posting these videos to YouTube as well. I have a YouTube channel there for the Cloud Goat Ranger. I'll be posting these videos, and then I have also some other videos that I record for other tournaments and a lot of pre-modern content. So if you're itching for more pre-modern matches, it's a good place to go. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and hope you guys have a good night.
Thanks, Michael.